All right, folks, here we go, talking NFL football from Las Vegas. Brian Blessing, glad to be with you. And it is just beyond belief that we're talking about 3 games remaining in the regular season at the NFL. Always reminding you to follow along at bangthebook.com, on Twitter at bangthebook, and the Sports Betting Podcast. Adam Burke, great information. And I'm excited to be jumping on with Adam now on Tuesdays. So check out the Sports Betting Podcast. Let's dive in to the NFL. Week 15. Terrifying to even say that out loud. And, there are certain parts of the week of the year when you just know what time of year it is. And that's when you get Saturday NFL games. And that's when you know that the postseason's right around the corner. We got a couple of them on Saturday. Chicago was at Detroit. Chicago's playing better. Detroit, 5.5-point favorite. Total on the game is 43.5. Indoors, weather's not an issue here. Trubisky's playing better. I think you could see some points in this game. But the one that's the most mystifying number of all of them is the Saturday game with the Chargers and the Chiefs. Chiefs were a dog's breakfast, righted the ship. They beat Oakland. Chargers have been playing good, winning a bunch of games. Current form's really good. But look at who the Chargers have been playing. You don't take anything away from them. You beat who's in front of you. But Arrowhead is one of the toughest places in the league to play. This is the prime example of just how volatile NFL numbers are from week to week, more so than we've ever seen before. Really, the Chargers favored on the road, a point and a half favorite at Arrowhead. The number, I just think it's a bad number. Can San Diego win the game? You bet. But I would certainly be making KC the favorite here. Total on the game is 46. Bottom line is, as bad as it's been for Kansas City, they're still there with a chance to win the division. And Kelsey and Hill and Hunt are still really good weapons. Let's go to Sunday. Philly and the Giants. Well, we'll see what the impact is emotionally for the Eagles losing Carson Wentz. They are 7.5-point favorites against the Giants with Manning back in the lineup. Total on the game is 40.5. But give Foles credit. He looked good coming in last week, helping him get the win against the Rams. Now he gets a full week to practice with the first team. Green Bay's at Carolina, another interesting number. Carolina, 3-point favorite. Now, earlier in the week, we saw 6.5, and that was an Aaron Rodgers out number. This is an Aaron Rodgers in number. Rust could be an issue. Both of these teams fighting for their playoff lives. Total on the game is 47. Could Green Bay, and frankly even Carolina, slip in the back door here when the postseason gets here and make a run? Big football game. Since he's at Minnesota, since he's run for the bus, Minnesota, 10.5-point favorite. Total on the game is 42. Minnesota back at home. That defense is just stout at home. Crowd noise. They get off the ball so fast. Cincinnati could be in for a tough one here. Now, the Miami-Buffalo game, there's nothing on the board just yet, waiting to find out what the quarterback situation will be. Tyrod Taylor did practice. Peterman had the concussion last week. Could it be Joe Webb, the third-string quarterback? Got a feeling Taylor's going to find a way to go here. The one thing is they are going to give the ball to LaShawn McCoy 35 times in this game. Miami's record in Western New York up in the winter in December over the years is atrocious. Bills, we'll see what the number they hang here. The total will be very interesting because people remember what they last saw, and that was a blizzard in Buffalo. Houston and Jacksonville. Jacksonville is the luckiest team in football. They're laying 11 here. The total on the game is 39. They tried to give that game away against Seattle last week. Yet they're there. Give them credit. They're in first place. But boy, Jacksonville's laying an awful lot of points. I still don't trust Blake Bortles. The Jets in New Orleans. New Orleans, extra time to prepare off the Thursday night game. A hard-fought loss to Atlanta, 16 points. One of the biggest numbers we've seen in a long, long time. New Orleans favored huge over the Jets. Total on the game is 47. Then Arizona and Washington, two teams are out of it. Washington, a 4-point favorite. Cousins, he can sling it around. Arizona's playing, listen, give them credit. They beat Tennessee last week. Arizona's not run for the bus. Total on the game is 43.5. This is an intriguing one. Baltimore's laying 7 on the road. They lose a heartbreaker to their arch rivals, physical game, but they control their own destiny. Baltimore wins out, they're in the playoffs. But wait a minute. They're playing Cleveland, and Cleveland has to go to Chicago and to Pittsburgh to wrap up the season. Literally, Cleveland's got to be sitting here saying, catching Baltimore in a letdown spot, this is our last realistic chance to win a football game this season. I think Baltimore could have a tiger by the tail here. This could be an interesting football game. Then you get the Rams in Seattle. Starting to see some steam on the Seahawks. It was 1.5 earlier in the week. It's up to 2. We're seeing 2.5. Now Goff going up to the Great Northwest. Rams coming off a loss to the Eagles. It's been great so far, but now it's December. It's the push for the playoffs, and Seattle realizes what a big opportunity they have here. New England, Pittsburgh, game of the year. We're looking at New England 3-point favorite on the road, totals 53.5, 54. Were the Patriots really that much looking ahead to Pittsburgh? I mean, if anybody wasn't going to look ahead, you think it'd be Belichick would have this team focused. But Gronkowski's absence, I've always said he should be worth 2.5, 3 points to the wagering line. People laugh at me. In the red zone, New England is just pedestrian without Gronkowski. He's a red zone matchup nightmare. His absence was greatly felt, but he will be back in the lineup. Home field at stake in the AFC for one of the games of the year. And then Tennessee and San Francisco. San Fran, 2-point favorite. Total on the game is 44. Here's Tennessee. Went out to Arizona. Didn't get it done. Pressure, weight of expectations. Now Garoppolo's got the Niners playing pretty good. Another tough spot for Tennessee. And then it's a Sunday night game. Two very public teams. They'll bet a lot of dough on it. Dallas and Oakland. Dallas, 3-point favorite on the road. Total on the game is 46. Raiders realize now their season's likely toast on a stick. And then the Monday night game, could Tampa Bay circle the wagons here and play the role, embrace the role of spoiler against Atlanta? Falcons 6.5-point favorites on the road. Total on the game is up there, 47.5, 48. NFC South game, it is a game that could feature a lot of points. We're in the home stretch. Try to get ahead of it. Try to get the best of the number. Some big matchups. Always try to go between the lines. Listen to the Sports Betting Podcast at bangthebook.com with Adam Burke. A lot of great information for you there. We're in the home stretch of the regular season here at bangthebook.com.